Yo guys, it's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Just a quick thank you to everyone that comes in and tunes into these videos. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Kind of crazy that you follow me along. Such loud music. Anyways, we are back here at Encore. It seems packed right now. It's a Saturday afternoon, right after Black Friday, and it seems like it's super busy because the parking lot is already packed. Anyways, heading off to play a session. Might be 2-5, might be 1-3, who knows. It's been a few days since I last played, so I'm feeling a little anxious again. Super annoyed. I hate this feeling. It's just like every time I take a few days off poker, I just have this sick feeling in my stomach, which is just not, I don't know what's wrong. I know a few people actually have this issue, so I don't know how to combat it. We're just gonna fight through it. I'm just a little like nervous and anxious, that's all. Anyways, we're gonna go inside, see what the action is like. The room seemed pretty packed. Try to hop into 1-3. If not 1-3, I guess I'll play 2-5. I have no issues with playing 2-5. It's just, you know, just more money. And bankroll needs some help, I guess. Even if I hit the bankroll challenge, I don't feel comfortable playing 2-5 regularly. But anyways, let's get into the hands. Let's get into the room. Let's get some cards in there. Let's get some cards in the air. All right, guys, into the hands. We start off this session super card dead. 1 hour in, we literally played like 2 hands. I don't know. An hour in, we didn't pick up a whole lot of hands to play with, and here finally we get a decent one. It's ace king offsuit in early position, and I open things up to $15. The player to my left immediately 3-bets me to 45, and it folds all the way back around. He has not a whole lot in his stack, about $150 total, so here with ace-king, probably just going to have to 4-bet jam this, especially out of position, so we do that exactly. 4-bet jam, about $150 effective. He says, fine, let's go with it. So he makes the call and shows ace-king off, and immediately we're probably going to chop this with ace-king off versus ace-king off. So the board comes pretty decent. I mean, whatever. It's ace-jack 4, 9, king, so we ended up rivering top 2. Chop it up, and we both lose money because of rake. So, awesome. 1 hour in, we finally get a good hand, and that is the result. Next hand, we have 10-9 of hearts on the button. Early position player opens to $10. The cutoff makes the call. Here, obviously, I could call this, but let's mix this into our 3-betting range, especially in position. We 3-bet to $40, and we get a big blind who cold calls, and everyone else folds. Weird. The big blind who cold calls has a pretty short stack, so let's actually just try to flop something. So let's do it. We're off to a flop, which comes ace, deuce, 3, rainbow, and he checks. Here, ace-high board is obviously really good for us, but he's so short. He's like $80 behind. It's like, am I really going to jam this? Like, I don't really know what to do. And even if I bet a sizing of like $60, if he jams, am I really going to fold? I don't know. It's just a really disgusting spot. So I can't even bluff profitably here. So I just check it back. The turn is a 3. He goes ahead and bets $50 out of his $80 stack. We just go ahead and fold. We give up. Next hand. Next hand, we have queen jack offsuit in the hijack. I open up the action to $15, and a player, I think on the cutoff, or I think the button makes the call. So we are off to a flop out of position. Flop comes king jack 10, 2 spades. So a lot for us to a lot out there right now on this super wet board. Middle pair, backdoor flush draw, and also the open ender. So I bet $25. I don't really love this. I just think I can check this a lot, especially on such a wet board. And middle pair here and a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, we probably could just check call in this spot, but I just go ahead and bet. She raises to $70. Not a spot that we like to be in. And definitely I think that when she raises here, it probably has like a hand like 2 pair. Really hard. Really unfortunate if she did flop the straight already, but here I think I could sometimes just rep spades if they come, because she's obviously not raising because she wants to see spades. So I go ahead and make the call. We peel in here. The turn is a 2 of hearts, a absolute brick, not the card I wanted to see at all. So I check. She just goes ahead and puts me all in, about $200 effective. Definitely does not want to see any action. Definitely does not want to see a river, and definitely doesn't want to see a spade. So anyways, we're forced to fold here. Nothing we can do with that action, and we're moving on. Next hand, we have ace-5 in the cutoff, and there's 3 limpers to me. I raise things up to $20, and we get some great action. 5 people make the call. Awesome. This hand just shows just how active this table is right now. It's absolutely insane. So we go to a flop 6 ways. The flop comes 8, 4, deuce, 2 spades. So absolute brick city for us, essentially. We do have a gutter ball, but I don't even count that. 3 clean outs, kind of. I don't even get to act yet before the player to my right makes the jam. Jam's about $65 total. I obviously fold. A player calls and we're off. And at the small blind ends up winning. Not the player to my right. He had king 8 of hearts. So yeah, king 8 of hearts playing out of position here. That's just how this table's going. So with all that information from the last hand leads me up to this point here. I have ace 5 offsuit in the small blind with an on the gun straddle. There are 2 limpers to me. There's a reason why rag aces don't make a whole lot of appearances on this vlog because they're pretty shit cards. But here with ace 5 out of position, I think I can raise this profitably, especially with so much action on this table with all these limpers around. So I go ahead and raise to $30. People are just playing way too late here, and I think I can raise ace 5. The on the gun player makes the call. He's been super active, and the button called as well. So we're off to a flop, which comes jack 5-6 rainbow with bottom pair, and it's really telling of my opinions on how loose these players are playing, because I go ahead and c-bet this with bottom pair, really expecting to be good a lot. So I bet $35. It's super small enough to get just any random cards and draws they call. So the on the gun player who straddled here makes the call. And we're off to a turn, which is a 7. Really don't know where we're at, but we hope that we can hold up. So hopefully we can get the showdown now. It's a really weird situation to be in with bottom pair, thinking you're good, but also just trying to get the showdown. 7 comes, action goes check, and the river is a king. I check with my pair of 5s. He bets $50, and I make the call. All right, I'm not gonna like slow play it for you guys. I make the call. I don't love it, and it's really gross. Like $50, it's never a bluff, but this player, I just had to pay him off and see what in the world he possibly could have had. So he shows king 8 of diamonds. I don't know what that call was on the flop. I couldn't tell you what that flop call was, but he stayed in with king 8 of diamonds, river top pair, and bet for value and got paid off by bottom pair. So fishy call by me. Safe to say we are a little bit more than tilted, and yeah, it's really unfortunate. So after that hand, I go ahead and move to a seat right to his left. He's got a pretty big stack. I want to be in position of him, and when I move, he leaves about 4 or 5 hands after that. So we actually don't get to be involved with him again in position. So that is also very unfortunate. So he leaves a pretty big stack, and we can't go after it, but more action to come. Quick break in the video, just wanted to announce this really quickly for you guys, throwing some graphics on the screen right now. The tournament app that I work with called Poker Bros is literally having the largest and biggest tournament series ever. $500,000 guaranteed in prize pools for a whole week of massive tournaments. Super fun. If you haven't checked it out already, definitely email me. It is orampage@gmail.com. Find it in the description, find it on the screen. Shoot me an email if you're interested. I highly recommend it. Super fun tournaments, super large player pool, and the cash games are pretty great too. So definitely just want to let you guys know if you want more information. Like I said, I'll hook it up. Email me. More action comes. We have ace queen of diamonds in early position. I open things up to $15, and we get 1 player to call in the small blind. We're off to a flop, which comes jack 4 deuce rainbow, probably the driest board you'll ever see. And here I am going to c-bet $15 when he checks to me. If I'm going to c-bet on stupid boards, I'm going to c-bet on this board for sure. He calls, but seemed a little bit nervous, so hopefully we can improve or maybe barrel him off this hand. We go to a turn, which is a 3 of diamonds, so we improve to the nut flush draw along with our 2 overs. He checks, and once again, gonna have to bet. This time, a little bit for value. I probably would have liked the sizing higher than $35, but that's the sizing I went with. I really want to hit the flush, and I don't know. I think I like a sizing of 45 a little bit more, but $35 was the sizing I went with, and he once again calls after thinking for a little bit. The river is a 9 of spades, and once again he checks. I can't win with ace high at all, and it seems like he has one of those middling pairs like pocket 7s, 6s, hands that just kind of have to stick around and not really feeling too comfortable about it. So I go ahead and bet $65. Pretty small, but looks like it's for value all the time, and basically can force out those middling pairs that beat us. and he makes the fold. So awesome. I had to throw this in there because this was the first hand I won all day. An hour 3. We are in hour 3 of the session, and this was the very first hand that we won and that went our way. Next situation, I'm just going to talk about it because there's really not much to report. I get pocket kings twice, and I open up the action pre-flop, and we get no callers twice. Kind of getting a little mad. That is how this day is going for me right now. I'm not happy with how this is going. I'm in for more than I should be in for a 1-3 game, and when I get good hands, I get no action, and we're just not winning hands, and I'm just getting annoyed, but we're trying to grind through this. Next hand, we have King Queen offsuit in the hijack. An early position player raises to $10, and we get a few callers to me. I probably would 3-bet this a lot of the time, but went and flatted just because of how bad I felt like I was running. And let's just take the lower variance route, and well, we get 6 callers around the table. So there's 7 players in this flop now. We're gonna go 7 ways to the flop. Flop comes King 10-9 rainbow, and here flopping top pair. I think this is the first pair, or at least first top pair that I flopped all day. Action actually ends up checking all the way to me, and I go ahead and reach for chips to bet with top pair here, but I see the player to my left actually reaches for chips and thought that I checked it. So I am actually going to check here because I saw that the player to my left was going to bet. So yeah, I check. She bets $25 as suspected, and it folds all the way back to the player to my right. He makes the call, and I'm in an interesting spot. Top pair, decent kicker, and we went 7 ways to a flop, which isn't great. So like there can be a lot of 2-pair combinations out there. I really don't like this. I go ahead and raise here to $75. It just feels like I'm just overplaying this 1-pair hand, and at the time, first time I flopped top pair, I really wanted to go with it. But hindsight, looking back, really dumb to overplay 1 pair here. But I raise to 75. The player to my left jams, $350 effective. Player to my right folds, action's on to me. I am not calling this $350 jam with top pair, decent kicker on this kind of a board. So we've blocked Queen Jack, which is unfortunate. We probably just should have just called and evaluated a turn like a smart person would, but yeah, we kind of just punted away $75 there. This next hand, we have a Queen 9 of clubs in middle position, and I opened it up to $15, opening up my range a little bit wider, but the action has been pretty crazy, so you'd think I would play a little bit actually tighter, but nope, we went with wide. We went with the wide range. So there's 2 callers in late position, and a very active big blind makes the call. So we're off to a flop 4 ways. Flop comes King 9-3 rainbow, flopping middle pair here. Action checks to me. I am actually just going to check here. No need to see bet with middle pair. I'm only going to get better to call. And action actually ends up checking all the way around. The turn is the 7 of spades here, bringing the backdoor flush draw. Big blind leads for $30, and he's been making just a lot of wild bluffs. And given this character, I mean, as much as if anyone would have a king in this spot, it would be him. He can just bluff and bluff and bluff. So I go ahead and make the call with middle pair or second pair, and everyone else folds. So feeling pretty good about my 9 right now against this player. We just have to hold, see what happens. The river is a deuce of clubs. He once again bets $55. It really looks like it's for value, but like I said, against this player type, I'm just not going to fold second pair here, so just going to have to pay him off if he has a king. I call the 55. He shows 4-5 of hearts, so we caught him on his bluff. We take it down with a pair of 9s, and this is literally the 3rd hand I've won all day, and we're in hour 4.5. Played for 4.5 hours right now, and I kept track of it because that's how frustrated I was. So we've won 3 hands, which is pretty good. This hand here, we have King 9 of diamonds in middle position. There's 2 limpers to me. King 9, like I said, I'm opening up my range. Everyone's playing really, really wide and pretty loose, so it's not smart to do that, but I just went with it right now. Suited King 9, I limp, and the cutoff limps. The button raises to $10, and everyone makes the call. So, yeah. I don't know what the $10 raise is like, but that's what's going on at this table. So we're going to go 6 ways to a flop. And the flop comes 9-7-5, 2 diamonds, top pair, pretty good kicker with our top pair, and also the second nut flush draw. So we are committed and going with it. An early position player bets $15. Here, I've seen him be super active and super aggro, and I mean, in this spot, like, I don't know why he's donk leading 15. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, But here, I'm going to raise it up here. There's no way that I just can't raise it. I raised to $55 with just the dream board that I could ever ask for. The cutoff actually cold calls this $55, which is really interesting. And an early position player tanks and ends up making the fold. So here now we're out of position. Not really sure what this cutoff player's range could be like when he cold calls my range. I don't know. I just have the whole board locked up. It's weird. Like, I guess some sets. We go to a turn, which is the 7 of clubs. It also brings in the club draw now. But I think that's a pretty good card for us. Not really sure where I'm at because I'm just really confused with what he would call my raise with. Still, top pair, good kicker. Second 7 coming definitely eliminates a lot of set cost possibilities here with basically losing to pocket 5s with the only combination. I go ahead and bet once again for $125 and he calls pretty quickly. So we're hoping to improve. We don't feel amazing about the situation, but I mean, top pair, fine, we're going with it. The river is a 9 of hearts now, so we ended up boating up 9s full of 7s. And this spot, just gonna have to bet for value. Well, I don't think we're losing. We basically have the nuts. So I go ahead and jam my stack in. It's about $244 total. I jam, but I'm not really sure what I'm getting value with. It seems like the only hands that I get value with are hands that I sucked out on. So just not really sure what would call this bet. I guess a 7 could call and pocket 5s would maybe make a crying really bad call, but those are the only hands that I think would call. But they don't really make a whole lot of sense given this action. So I jam, he thinks for a long time and ends up calling actually. I show and we're good. Not really sure what kind of hand he could have had, like I guess maybe an overpair. But we take it down, we double up, and we pick up a pretty big pot finally. Next hand after that really big double up, we have pocket 8s in the cutoff, have about 900-ish in our stack, and an early under the +1 player limps. Early position player raises to $15. He has been playing super active, super aggressive. He also watches the vlog, and so he obviously has an idea of how I play. And also, he covers me. So he has a pretty big stack as well. So I go ahead and make the call, and the limper makes the call as well. So 3 ways in position to a flop. The flop comes 10-8-7 rainbow, middle set on a super connected board. So the limper donk leads $10. Clearly, newish player, I would say. And the pre-flop players raises to $35, so more of an appropriate sizing of a c-bet. Here, I am just going to flat. I just want to see a turn. I don't want to see a scary board. I think I raise this a lot, but I know that given this player is super aggressive, knows how I play, he could definitely hang himself here and just continue firing. So I go ahead and just flat, and the early position player folds. We are off to a turn heads up. The turn is a 4 of hearts, not a card that really concerns me, even though there is a backdoor flush draw. He once again makes a bet of $95. And here we've got a decision to make. We should be raising a lot of the time. On a board like this, we can get a lot of value, especially with middle set, assuming that we're good here basically all the time here. But like I said, for the same reasons as to why I flatted on the flop, I'm going to flat here on the turn and try to get 3 streets of value of him barreling. And we have positions, so it's a pretty good spot for us. I call the $95 as I can call pretty light a lot of the time against this player type as well, and I think he knows that too. So we're off to a river, which is a 10. Really great card for us, as obviously we have the second nuts now, but not really a great card because I don't think we get a whole lot of value from a whole lot. We really only get value from a pair of 10s that improve to trips or just flat out bluffs, it seems like. So that's what I'm thinking when that card comes. But things change when he leads for $300. Really big bet here, and we're obviously going to go with it. It's an easy jam spot, so with about like 740, 750 in front, I go ahead and jam, and he says that he wants to make the vlog and calls for a pretty large amount. And he shows pocket aces, and we win a really big one with the second nuts there. So we win a really big pot, and that is how that one went. The last hand we'll go over, we've won 2 huge pots. Hopefully we can continue this run good. We have pocket 4s under the gun. I open limp under the gun. Let's just see a cheap flop. And that's exactly what happens. It's a multi-way limped pot. Not really sure how many players, but it's irrelevant. The flop comes Ace-7 for rainbow. So bottom set, the run good is continuing here. Small blind leads $15, and he's been playing pretty tight. And on this really dry board with bottom set, I'd like to get additional value here. Don't want to show strength of my hand just yet. Ideally, we'll probably just have to raise on the turn. So we're off to a turn when I call, and we're going heads up to a turn, if that made any sense. Turn is the case 4. So we turn quads. Nice. Unfortunately, no high hand this day. No high hand. The high hand promo ended. So, but we turned quads. So we are good here a lot of the time, I think. Sometimes. So just sometimes we're good here with quads, but I don't want to, say that we have the nuts or anything. This is sarcasm. I said that last time I had quads, and a lot of you guys didn't get it. I don't know. So here, he bets $15 again into me with basically the nuts, I think. Basically the nuts. I just call. I don't think I can get a whole lot of value raising here. It's hard to get value with quads, really. So when I raise here, I don't know. I'm just going to call with quads, and we're going to go to a river, which is a 9 of spades. He checks. I notice that the flush gets there, so maybe sometimes he has a weird flush. I go ahead and just bet big, $75. He almost snap calls real quick, so we show we're good, and we take it down. So we get some value. He showed he had ace something, I think. He had ace rag and called with top pair, so nice to get paid with quads. Well, we played for a little bit, about 7.5 hours of playing 1-3 grindy session, and I am, I guess, happy that we ended up in the green, or I guess saying playing in the green isn't a legit thing. I always thought it was a thing. I used to be saying the black, whatever. We ended up positive for the session. I'm happy about that. And it's a good feeling to like really claw out of the deep hole we dug ourselves in, but realistically, there's a lot of mistakes I made early on in the session, and like I played really bad. Hopefully I think I'll showcase a lot of it as well. Oh my god, what is that car doing? Is that a spot? Oh, these are spots. Oh, I passed my car. I literally just walked right past my car. Yeah, I'm an idiot. But yeah, hopefully I documented my play real bad. Although we didn't run great, we didn't help ourselves either with making extremely light calls and just playing like an absolute idiot. Making calls with bottom pair on the river, like although they sucked out on us, it doesn't justify me just punting away like $200, you know? Because I think like at the end of the day, I lost at least $200 of profit today just by making those light calls, playing really bad, and whatever. But absolutely crazy, I guess. Just my thoughts. Today was wild. I literally won. I think like until hour 4 or 5 into the session, I literally won 2 hands. Because I remember looking at my tip chart, or because I just keep track of how much money I tip. I literally tipped $3, and one of them was because I chopped with the ace-king hand. So first 4 hours, I literally won 2 hands, and then we won those 2 really big ones. We doubled up our stack and then doubled up again. So I'm really fortunate and lucky, really just lucky, to run into those spots and wait it out and just grind it out. But if I'm being very honest with you, I'm not happy with how I played today. I'm sure a lot of you guys in the comment section, if you didn't watch this part yet, you probably already commented how disappointed you are and criticized my play. But I had to throw in the bad plays. Like, they're gonna come. It's really stupid. I'm just gonna work on eliminating them in the future. But it's been a long day. It's midnight now, and it was kind of actually, it wasn't really that crowded in there today. But anyways, the action was good-ish, but called it quits. We were in the game for 1,000. One absolutely ridiculous. We freaking bought in for 1,000 for a 1-3 game. Like, it's so dumb. But out of the game for about 1,900. So pretty good profit so far. Also, we hit quads. That's cool. Of course, 2 hands 2 days later after the high hand ends. But anyways, signing off for now. Also, just want to touch upon how ridiculous 3.3 buy-ins is to buy in for a cash game. I could not realistically do that at 2.5, so I can't buy in for 2,300, 2,500 at a 2.5 game because that's a lot of money. But for 1.3, I can comfortably buy in multiple times. So that's the thing about the bankroll. I'm just not comfortable with buying in for 2,500, but for 1,000 at 1.3, I can, because sometimes I'll win it back, sometimes I'll punt it all. But I'm glad that we ended up in the positive today. So thank you guys so much for watching. watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. If you made it this far, please leave a like. Check out everything in the description below. My second channel, my vlog channel, my Facebook group, Patreon if you want to support me, that'd be cool. You don't have to. What else I got? Got the Facebook group going, and that is about it. So after all that, check it out if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.